Okay, everyone, and welcome back. I'm joined today by Zera, good friend of mine, and the developer for our castle walls.
Hey, what's happening? It's Zera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been a couple of years.
Oh, come on. There's got to be something I can do.
As I'm sitting and thinking, I'm also observing Yuri painting. Just by looking at the first few letters, I'm noticing that this looks very similar to her handwriting when we were sharing poems. Oh, Freddy, you're so new. It's a little more fancier than usual.
Fancy.
Fancy.
Hey, that just might work. Oh, I know what I can do.
What did you have in mind? She appears to still be focused on painting, but her tone of voice doesn't change at all.
Well, you know how on those cold frames that paintings go in, they have a really fancy design etched into them? What if I were to try to paint something similar on the four corners of our banner?
She stops painting once again and thinks to herself for a while. Sure, I don't see why not. Just nothing too gaudy, okay?
Deal.
I nod at her and she returns to whatever she was doing. Walking over to the side opposite of her, I prepare my paintbrush and paint and start working on one of the corners.
And there we go. That's half of it done already.
The paper definitely has a different feel to it, which took a little getting used to. 1-0.
Okay.
But overall wasn't too bad. Keeping what Yuri said in mind, I decided to keep it simple and draw 2 diagonal lines and some stars on each corner. Trying to draw stars with a paintbrush is harder than I thought it would be, but I ended up getting it down eventually.
Whew. Alright, halfway done.
Yuri speaks up as I grab my stuff, walk over to the other side, and continue the task at hand. Oh, Zera, you say that like you were glad it's almost over. Was it wrong to assume that you were...
Ah!
Time stops. The feeling of black paint all over my hand and her floor paralyzes me and sends shivers down my body. There is no comfort anymore, just really bad, overwhelming, tingly, uncomfortable feeling, and also guilt. I want to shake my hand so desperately to try to get the paint off, but that'll cause it to fly everywhere in her room. I can't help but clench my teeth and close my eyes in discomfort.
Did end up making a mess. She's not gonna be happy. This was a bad idea. I don't know what to do. I just want this to stop.
Zara? I look over to her out of desperation and barely manage to speak up.
Help. Please.
Well, Sherry seems to realize what's going on. She gets up from her spot, grabs her bag, and pulls out a few tissues. She rushes over to me, takes my paint-covered hand in hers with the tissues, brings me up from the ground with my compliance, and takes me somewhat by force to her bathroom. Once inside, she doesn't even bother closing the door. Instead, she turns on the faucet, which is set to hot water, removes the napkins from my hand, and brings it under the water. Watching the paint being washed away and the feeling of hot water is a little satisfying and makes me feel a little more at ease. But Yuri takes both of her hands and begins gently scrubbing mine, trying to get all the paint off. She even goes as far as to apply soap to mine and hers. Her sudden actions have taken me by shock. This feels different. This feels like when her hand was in mine 2 days ago, but this feels more pleasant. Helping hands, I dare say. She looks over to me with a reassuring smile, at least I think it is, and gives me a towel to dry off. While my hand may be feeling better and the bad tingling sensations have mostly gone away, I still feel guilty about getting paint on her floor. There we go. Are you feeling any better now? I can't bring myself to answer that. Nice, Mia. All that's on my mind is the mess I made, also continuously scrubbing my already dry hands. look towards the ground out of inferiority. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry about all this. I didn't mean to make your room a mess.
Her smile is replaced with a concerned look as she places one hand on my shoulder and looks at me. Zera, please, try not to worry about that. I'm not upset at all. We can clean it up together, if that would make you feel better. Well, the thought of that does make me feel a bit better, knowing I'd be doing my part to atone for my mishap.
Okay, I would like that.
Her smile makes a return. Then it's settled. Let's take care of this. Towel in both mine and her hand, we make our way back to her bedroom. To some, the sequence might get a little confusing. Questions like, why is his hand tingling? Is there something in the paint? What's going on? I'd like to give Zera the opportunity to explain tactile discomfort and how it applies to AUMC.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's texture is definitely a thing people like us have problems with. Like just right there. It's because, okay, normally getting paint all over yourself wouldn't really feel too bad, but in that context of what happened, he wasn't expecting it to happen at all. His mind was so preoccupied on something else that the paint just crawling all over his hand just felt like an invasion. And it's like his senses weren't ready for it, and something inside of us, like our heads, just start freaking out at the feeling of that, which pretty much grounds us in place. And so that's why he was like, Yuri, please help, I don't know what to do.
And I felt like that needed said, because I know that, people who don't know someone with autism or know someone who's anywhere near the spectrum wouldn't understand that. So I wanted to give Zera the opportunity to explain that for people. I don't know. I felt like that sequence specifically, I really wanted to bring the stream to a screeching halt, because it's important to me because Zera is a very good friend of mine. I love him dearly. I love my son. I have a lot of autistic friends that go through these things. And to me, I get it. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, tactile discomfort, that's whatever. But I see people in the DDMC Discord, in the DDMC Reddit, not quite certain of what's going on, and it ultimately yields some unpleasantness. So I don't know. I'm rambling. We're going to continue. After our attempt to clean up the paint on her floor, we each resume our respective painting. Cleaning up wasn't so bad. I feel really lucky that her floor wasn't stained as a result. Now, see, AUMC, a minute ago you were talking about carpet instead of linoleum. Can you imagine how much that would have sucked? I would have felt really bad if that happened. Only after drawing 2 diagonal lines on the banner, I can't help but look over to see what Yuri's painting.
The literature club. Isn't that kind of basic? I hope she has something else in mind. Oh well.
After deciding to get back to work, it doesn't take long for something else to come to mind, yet again.
Hey, thanks for your help earlier. I'm feeling better, by the way.
She looks over to me and smiles, for I've lost track of how many times today. It's no problem. Besides, you said it best. It feels nice to help a friend out, so it only felt right. Can't help but smile at how cute she's being.
Oh, you. There's an accomplishing feeling to it that I really enjoy. It makes me feel important.
I can say the same. Someone told me recently to trust my instincts on whether something feels right or wrong, so I guess that played hand in hand with a little bit ago.
That can't be a coincidence that she said that.
Also, how we're both able to work and talk at the same time is beyond me.
Well, I didn't know what I would have done without you. How funny would it have been if it was super glue instead, and I was stuck here forever or something?
Zera, you know what I'm gonna say?
No, I don't.
Never fucking change. I can't help but laugh to myself over my own stupid humor. But Yuri isn't laughing. She's giving me that weird look from when I was holding her knife earlier, but it goes away after a while. You're so weird, Sarah. I confidently nodded her.
That's me.
And that is Sarah! She giggles once again, and we both resume putting the finishing touches on the banner. God damn it, Sarah. Fucking, I just...
Ah, that ought to do it.
Nick, you are not wrong. I say that as I finish drawing the last star that I deem necessary. Yuri, on the other hand, looks to be almost done. While I'm waiting for her to finish up, I take a step back to look at the banner as a whole. I gotta admit, tea-staining the paper was a pretty good idea. Almost looks like one of those stereotypical treasure maps that are shown in pirate movies. Finished.
Good. Now I can see the rest of what she wrote. A place to read, a place to write, a place to belong. Not bad. That turned out pretty well.
I concur.
I'm gonna have to give, first off, I'm gonna give shout-outs to my good friend in the OCW Discord, Icicle Sea Cold. She came up with that line for the banner.
Oh, no shit!
Yeah, and so I was scrambling on what I could possibly put there, and she came up with that out of nowhere, and I'm all like, that's so perfect.
It is. Oh god, mad props
Thanks,
to Icicle.
Ice.
That's awesome.
Should we take care of it now?
I start leaning towards the banner out of instinct. No, no. Her sudden change in tone somehow manages to stop me in my tracks. The paint needs to dry first before anything. We should leave the banner here overnight. I then take a step away from our banner as if...
Sure, okay, we can change that.
As if not to disturb it.
Fair enough. Does that mean you'll be bringing it into school tomorrow?
It only makes sense if I do. What about your door curtain?
Yeah, those.
Looking down to see my project from earlier still on the ground, I'm surprised that I didn't step on and ruin anything.
I could put that in my backpack and bring it with me tomorrow.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure I could fit those in my bag if we needed to.
I mean, we very well could, but I want to do my part. I insist. Please let me bring them to school tomorrow.
Well, suit yourself. It looks like we're all finished, and there's nothing more for us to do. What do we do now? Come on, I'll walk you outside. Back in her living room, after getting all of my stuff together, she stops just short of her front door. Oh, Zera, that reminds me. Would you like to stay for dinner tonight?
Oh man, that sounds like a great idea. If it's anything like what she brings into school, then it'll be great. Now that I think about it, I still haven't wrote anything for tomorrow. That seems a little more important. I'm sorry. As much as I'd like to, I don't think I'll be able to. I still haven't wrote for tomorrow.
She now looks just as disappointed as I am. Oh, that's a shame. But you're right, though. I, too, haven't written for tomorrow.
Yikes. I'm certain there'll be a day where we can.
I suppose. She opens her front door. Gently. I'll see you tomorrow.
Right. Tomorrow. Wait! This isn't according to plan?
I'm stuck in place at remembering what I ultimately wanted to accomplish today.
Man, I can't believe I'm going through with this.
I turn around so that I'm facing her.
Yuri?
What is it? I think I can feel my heart beating a little faster.
Could you please walk home with me? It's really important.
She stands there for a bit, lost in thought for Lord knows how long. Is it really that important? All I can do is nod at her. My emotions, slowly starting to go rampage, leaves me unable to speak. Well, I suppose I can spend a little more time with you today. I'll trust your judgment. I can't tell whether she's teasing me or not, but that's not what matters right now. I step outside her house with her following me. Lead the way, please. Nodding once again as my feelings are consistently inconsistent, we begin the journey to my house.
Are all of y'all ready for one of the best scenes in the entire mod?
Oh, we're here! Oh, shit!
We're here.
I had a moment. Oh, God, I haven't... Oh, God, okay. I know! That felt like one of the longest walks I have ever had in my life. Okay, I need to make sure. Alright, chat, FYI, I might not respond to you right away because I don't want to fuck this up. While the walk may have been silent between me and her, my mind was racing the entire time. It felt a little bit tiring, to be honest. But we made it, and I am both ready and not ready for what's about to happen. Still can't believe Sayori talked me into this. At my door, while unlocking it and opening it, Yuri speaks up. So, what's so important that I needed to be brought here? I turn around to face her once again. It's becoming more difficult for my thoughts to be put into words.
Please, just wait here real quick. I'll be right back.
With that, I quickly turn around and rush up to my room. Not long after, I return to where she is, bag in hand. I can't tell if I'm shaking or trembling over the fact that this is actually happening. She looks at me inquisitively.
I got you something that I think you would like from when I was gone yesterday.
From the bag, I nervously pull out a stuffed toy elephant and present it to her. Her eyes light up, and she lightly gasps at what she sees. Gently taking it from me, she stares at it for a second and uses her right thumb to feel its texture. A genuine smile shows up as she closes her eyes and holds it close to her chest and neck. I can't help but smile at how happy she is. Thank you, Zera. I love it. Can't move, so I feel stuck in this dreamlike stance. All I can do is nervously laugh at her.
I thought you would like it. I saw one that was a big red dog, and I thought you'd like. But I remember you said you really like elephants, so... How do I ask her the big question, though?
You're very thoughtful, Zera. She takes a step closer to me, grabs a hold of my hand, and briefly grasps it. I really like that about you. Time stops. My heartbeat increases. Life feels surreal. All of these feelings I had back when I went to the lake by myself. I think they're starting to make more sense. It's all starting to come to me now.
Yuri, there's so much I like about you.
She seems lightly taken aback as our fingers mesh into perfect harmony and my eyes meet hers.
I'm really happy with how close me and you have become ever since we first met. What I said 2 days ago about you being the most wonderful and beautiful person I've ever met, it still holds true to this day. I just feel honored to know someone like you.
She doesn't seem to react. My grip on her slowly becomes tighter.
I can't stop now. I really like being around you, talking to you, everything that we do in the club. It all makes me really happy, and I don't want it to stop here, so...
I take a second to try my hardest to think of what I want to say.
I was wondering if I could be not only your date to the festival, but if I could be your princess.
She stays silent for a while. but ends up laughing to herself.
Hi.
Zera, I thought I was the girl here. It takes a while for me to realize what exactly I said. Both of us laugh over my mishap for a bit until Yuri snorts out of laughter and covers her face with both hands.
Oh, I thought I was the girl who... Wait, I mean...
Another laughing fit ensues. Catching our breath takes a while, but when we're calmed down, both of us and time stop yet again. Yuri walks up to me, wraps her arms around me, and speaks gently in my ear. I do. All I can do is tightly hug her back and bury my head in her shoulder in response to her voice ringing through my whole body. A familiar yet welcoming lavender scent makes itself known upon embrace. Being in the arms of a princess feels absolutely surreal. I can't help but feel a spike of excitement after realizing how everything turned out. This is the best feeling in the world. Just knowing that she's mine and I'm hers now makes me never want this moment to end. Life can only look up from here. I start gripping her back a little harder and breathing more slowly as if to stay in this moment forever. Our embrace comes to an end as we both look at each other, and I take a hold of her hand this time, still blushing.
Tomorrow's gonna be the best festival ever.
Mm-hmm. But we still have to write for it.
Yeah, you're right.
I should probably head home now.
Okay.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Go already.
You first.
I want to watch until you're safely inside, okay? My blush increases.
Okay then.
Walking over to my door, I stop myself after opening it slightly, take a deep breath, and turn around to face Yuri.
Thanks for having me again, Yuri.
I turn around, enter, and close the door, all in less than a second. Thank you, my darling.
I told you. I am so proud at how that turned out. And that one line where AUMC says, "Oh, I thought I was the girl here." Wait, I mean, that makes me laugh every time. I didn't... There's a reason why I consider this the sweetest Yuri mod out there.
It is. Hands down.
Alright, how much more longer do we have to go? 3 minutes. Okay, about 50 lines of code left, and we're done with day 6.
Ugh, okay. Oh, jeez. My head hurts a lot after all that writing, but I finally got my poem for tomorrow done. I have a feeling that everyone will like it, especially Yuri. At one point in time during, she texted me telling me thanks for everything about today, to which I replied basically the same thing. Laying my head down on my desk now, I relax for a bit and think about everything that happened today. The idea of writing to my parents to let them know what's been going on comes to mind, and that really doesn't sound that bad.
Maybe I'll get around to that before bed. What? Huh? Oh, just my phone again.
Quickly grabbing and flipping open my phone shows a text from Monica?
What could she want?
Hey, Zera, I'm almost done making the pamphlets for the festival tomorrow. Could you send me the final draft of your poem for tomorrow so I can finish my job? Monica's making me really confused. Better text her back, I guess.
Wait, so you want me to text you my entire poem?
Sent. While waiting for a response, I pull out another piece of paper. But the moment I put my pencil on...
Huh? Oh, that was fast.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh boy, here goes nothing.
3 minutes later, it's all sent over and my hands are tired. Flip phones are so weird when it comes to texting. Fucking shit. I ended up having to send her X different messages due to the 160 character limit. After a while, she ends up texting me back. Great, thanks again. Just so you know, I got to read Yuri's already and I like where things are going.
Oh boy. Does she know already? Probably not, but eventually she will.
Disregarding my phone for now and grabbing my pencil, there's more important matters at hand. Can't wait to tell my parents about my new girlfriend.
Girlfriend. That word just sounds and feels so much more pleasant now, knowing who I'm associating it with.
Can't help but put on a dumb smile as I begin writing to my parents.
Dear Mom and Dad.
We did it. Day 7.
Day 7's pretty fun.
But
Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and ring those bells. That's all I have for today. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye, everyone.